Let me say this. Contentment does not, will not ever come from what you have. For the rest of your life, like you've got to believe this. This is the message of the scriptures. Contentment, you being content, will never ever come for the rest of your life from what you have. It is a state of mind. What you have will not make you content. It will never make you content. And so I say that, and my guess is that most of us hear that and most of us believe that, yet none of us believe that all at the same time. Or at least we'll say we believe that and we'll leave here and we won't live like we believe that. We will still believe that that stuff can make us content. Proverbs 27:20 says, death and destruction are never satisfied, and neither are the eyes of a man. And so literally, like, the reason I'm so crazy, stinking passionate about this is because I have lived this. And so I'm about to go to a really weird place with you guys. I don't think I've ever quantified this in the history of my life, but I'm telling you, when I moved to Dallas, like I thought that I could buy enough stuff. I thought that there was something out there that would make me content. And so I'm gonna say something that I've never quantified this verbally until preparing for this message. And I don't say it with a boastful heart. That's my concern in bringing this before you, but it's a sick struggle of mine that Christ had to defeat in my life. And so I've been driving for 14 years. I've had 16 vehicles. 16, okay? Lexuses, Jaguars, Bentley replicas, one that was the only one like it in the US. Convertibles, Cadillacs, okay? I've had 5 houses here in Dallas, moved around 5 times. Penthouse condo in Uptown, house in Lake Highlands, house in Lakewood, house in North Dallas. Okay, over 20 motorcycles I've bought. That's 36 vehicles. Okay? And it's stupid. And it's stupid. It doesn't fulfill anything. And the reason I've had those things is because one didn't do anything in me, and I'd have to go to the other, and then I'd have to go to the other, and I'd have to go to the other, right? And I have to switch them out. And I'm telling you right now, you can learn from my mistake and my journey, or you can make your own, and that's up to you. But I'm telling you, there's no contentment there. I never in my life even understood the word until I met Christ. Okay, and that's a little bit ambiguous, so let me say it like this. Until I understood that I'm here for just a second, and then I'm going to be with God forever and ever and ever, and that this world doesn't matter outside of knowing him and making him known. It's all vanity. And if you don't want to learn from me, you can learn from our friend Solomon in Ecclesiastes, right? It starts out like this. Everything is meaningless, 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 says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. And then there's 12 chapters here of nothing but an experiment, a social experiment of him throwing parties and sleeping with women and having 700 wives and all of these crazy things and throwing epic parties that we can't even imagine and buying stuff and making money. The richest, wealthiest man ever to live. And the book ends like this. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Everything is meaningless. Just like it started. And there's 2 things in there I just want to point out to you. Ecclesiastes 2:25 says, for without him, who can eat or find enjoyment? For without God, who can eat or find enjoyment? Ecclesiastes 12:13 at the end of the chapter. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And if you don't want to learn from Solomon, you can learn from Heath Ledger, Michael Jackson, Brittany Murphy. I mean, we see it all the time, man. People who have everything and then take their lives at the end, fight depression, fight ignorance. We see it all the time. Turn on the TV, but then turn it off and think about whatever is true, noble, praiseworthy. If you don't believe me, like, consider what you pray for, right? Like, we don't want to be God. We want to be like God. This started in the garden. And so what we pray for is we pray for peace, comfort, financial blessings, jobs, right? We pray basically that God would move us to a place where we don't need him. Like, even when we pray to God, we pray that we would be God. We pray, God, hey, will you bless me in a way so that I don't need you? A lot of times that's the consensus of our prayer. I know that it has been mine, right? And so this whole time, right, there is an enemy. There really is an accuser in life. And he's whispering in your ear that what you have is not enough. That's the lie that I believe. That's the lie that Eve believed. That's the lie. That's what stirs up in me when I watch a movie like that, right? That God is not enough. And it says this, John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Christ gives us life.